Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this, I believe it's an ASUS ROG, or Republic of Gamers, model GA401Q, alright. The full model is GA401QM-211.ZG14. I don't know if there's a model number sticker on here somewhere. And doesn't look like it just says ROG Zephyrus. So anyways, we're gonna take this thing apart. We're gonna be using a JIS1 screwdriver to remove the screws from the bottom. You want to keep the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that is I put them flat side down on my desk like that. In the pattern I remove them. So we got 4 here, then 2 here, then I'll just put 4 like that, and then 4 more down here. Alright, if this video helps you out, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making a living making these videos. So yeah, and I'm not kidding about that. Any amount helps. Even if you can send like 10 cents, it helps. All right, so anyways, let's continue removing all these stickers. These screws. And yeah, if you can't really help out that way, it helps a lot as well to watch some of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. So anyways, we're gonna continue getting all these screws. There's quite a few. Most laptops have a lot less screws than this, on the bottom at least. So yeah. Oh, the screws down here where the laptop opens are shorter than the other screws, so keep that in mind if you somehow mix them up and you weren't really keeping them in order, or something just happened and you ended up spilling them everywhere, then hopefully this will help you. Alright, anyways, oh, why is this screw longer? I don't know if they lost something or... Oh, actually, this screw looks like one of those where there's supposed to be a washer that holds it in place. So maybe the customer tried to open it, because I do see some cracks here. And what that's supposed to do is it's supposed to pop the cover up a little for you to be able to easier open this. So since that's the case, I'm going to go ahead and try and pop this side up first. There we go. So this should technically pop itself up on its own. Hey, Oreo, stop. Alright, but since it doesn't have that, if yours broke like this, what you do is you get your fingernails, or, well, I don't think you can do this with a pry tool, but maybe with a suction cup you can pull this. But with fingernails, I get my fingernails in there, and I'll push on the palm rest like this. And we'll go on both sides and just do that. And wow, that cover just fell off. Interesting. Okay, so... Oreo, stop bothering Venus. So here's what the inside looks like. I don't know if the customer opened this and broke the clips or what. Excuse me, but yeah. Alright, you can see there's a lot of dust in these fans, so that's probably why their temps are really bad. I'm going to have to clean up all of that dust, and what I'm going to be doing is redoing the thermal paste for them. They asked me to redo the thermal paste. It looks like they were peeling up the sticker here and then they just stopped, so I don't know what's going on there. Anyways, let's see if I can actually scrape that sticker off or something, but if not, it's going to have some gunk left. Yeah, no, it's not going to come off cleanly. So we're just going to scrape that off and throw that sticker away because it's not reusable. And yeah, let me clean up the fan real quick, or the fans real quick, and I'll be back. But there's the laptop. Alright, see you guys in a bit. Alright, so here it is. We cleaned out the inside. You can see it's a lot cleaner. Fans are a lot cleaner. Alright, anyways, first thing first is we're going to remove the battery. Technically, if you're careful, you don't need to do that, but it is going to make it a lot safer since we're removing a giant metal hunk here. So let's zoom in. Oops, we didn't need it. Well, I guess let's disconnect the battery before we undo the screws. So this design, it has this little slide latch mechanism. So there's this metal tab. Slide that over like that. Once you've done that, actually, let me make sure this thing turns on, because I don't think I checked that. Okay, I did see the keyboard flash, and the power light is on. And okay, it works. So we're going to turn that back off. Okay. Make sure it's off. Looks good. All right, and now let's go ahead and turn off or disconnect the battery. because at least it boots to that. All right, so it looks like the stick of RAM is kind of in the way, so we're gonna pop that out first. Pull the 2 tabs to the side, it pops up, and you can pull this out. This RAM is PC4 3200AA. So if you want to replace your RAM, any PC4 3200AA RAM should work. You can get 2 16 gig sticks for a total of 32 gigs. I'm not sure if they make 32 gig sticks. But anyways, you have the battery connector. Make sure you slid that over. Then we should be able to grab this and kind of pull it up technically. But usually I like to get under here with my fingernail and help pull it up this way, because this tab, it can pull and damage the cabling here. All right, so once we do that, we're gonna zoom out here. And I'm actually gonna open it up, and for safety, I'm gonna press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds. All right, so this makes sure to drain the capacitor some, make sure that it's not gonna short out and cause any damage. So take those 15 seconds or even a little bit longer just to be safe. All right, so there we go. Let's close this up. And let's go ahead and undo the battery screw. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit more, and let's take these screws out. All right, so the battery model number is here, C41N1908. I will show a close-up once I get all these these screws out. So there's one there, nothing in these two because I think the bottom case holds those. Then there's one over here. Hopefully there's not going to be too many screws holding this thing in place. We got one down here. And another one down here. All right, so we got all 4 screws out. Now that we got those 4 screws out, we're gonna lift the battery up, okay, like this, and you want to carefully grab this whole battery out. It's a little dusty, but yeah. All right, so here is the battery model number once again, C41N1908, and we'll set that aside. All right. So sadly, there's only one slot of RAM that you can do anything with, so there's likely integrated RAM somewhere on the motherboard. I'm not sure where. And under here we have an SSD slot. This is pretty sure it's an M.2 PCIe NVMe. Yes, it is. One screw, once you remove that, you can pull this up slightly and pull it out just like the stick of RAM. Instead of the clips, it uses screws though. All right, you got the CMOS BIOS RTC real-time clock battery there. It even has a label, RTC. All right, then we got this little cable going along, and then the speaker plugs in right here. We got this cable here plugging in for, wait, what? Huh? I am so confused. Are there 4 speakers under here? Okay, I think there's 4 speakers. So this white plug cable connects to these wires that go underneath the motherboard here, and the other one underneath here. And then this one, the black connector, goes down to these 2 speakers here and here. And these speakers aren't held in with screws, they're just held in with these rubber things, so you can actually just lift them out. But when you go to put it back, just make sure to put it back in the right spot. Alright, what else? There's a JDebug port here and a missing JDebug port here. I don't know how you use these. There's probably some special tools to do it. Keyboard backlight connectors here and keyboard connectors there. You would flip these latches up and you can pull these cables out, but it seems like it's held down really well, so I'm not going to mess with those because the only issue the customer's having is the thermal issue. There's the LCD LVDS connector here. So this cable, make sure you disconnect the battery. Press and hold the power button at least 15 seconds before messing with this. But to remove this cable, it has this tab that, just like the battery one, you would pull up on this, but again, I would get under here with my fingernail and pop that out. All right, I'm going to leave that alone because we're not removing that. We got the fan connector here and the other fan connector here. We are going to disconnect those 2 fans because we are going to have to remove this whole assembly, and I'm pretty sure the fans are somewhat attached. All right, we might have to also remove some other stuff here because it looks like the wireless antennas are going under here. That's dumb. Okay, so it looks like we're probably going to have to remove that to get the heatsink out. And we are going to have to remove the LCD LVDS connector as well because they ran that cable along this heatsink as well. Jeez. How smart of these people. Yeah, no, not really. Alright, this is a dumb design. Alright, anyways, so to remove this, we're going to grab the cable here again, and actually let me zoom in. So again, I'm going to get my fingernail under the edge, and then I'm going to pop that up just while pulling this, okay? And just like that, one side came up. Usually both sides come up, but there you go, help that up. I guess it's caught underneath the heatsink. Then we're gonna peel this adhesive up. Be careful. I'm gonna hold this part of the motherboard down and peel that. Be careful not to crease this cable. You don't wanna like just bend the thing up. So we're trying to keep it flat, and then we'll just move that out of the way. Okay, the DC jack charge port connector is here, soldered to the motherboard, so if you need to replace it, you are going to have to pull the motherboard out. Alright, fan connectors right here. It's kind of in a cramped area. Normally I would just use my fingernails to do it, but it looks like I'm going to have to use like this kind of tool, especially since if I have to use two, I can't pinch with there. So I'm going to use this to push on one side and my fingernail to pull on the other side. And you want to be careful you don't scrape the motherboard, so I'm going to push, push, pull, and basically alternate, and there you go, it walks itself out. So basically push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. That's how I apply pressure to it. Okay, so we're gonna move over to, let's see here. Let me zoom out. We have the wireless antennas going under here, but where's the wireless card? Is it part of the motherboard? I guess we do have to remove this SSD, so let's remove this one screw. Be careful, it looks pretty flimsy. If you push down too hard, you might damage the motherboard. So get this screw out. Now that we got that screw, this piece, you can pull it up slightly. Be careful, go slow, because it feels like there's a thermal pad holding it down. So I'm going to pull up with my other fingers here too. Alright, and there we go, we got that lifted, and now we can kind of wiggle and pull this out. And here we go, there's the thermal pad. I'm not sure why they're just cooling there, but I don't know, it just spreads the heat a little bit. I don't feel it really does too much. Wireless card is also removable here, but it's underneath. That's kind of weird. To get the antennas out, I just go from the tail and pull straight up, just like this. Oh, actually, why is this one stuck on there so strong? I'm going to use two fingernails to kind of grab and then just pull it up. There we go. And then the black one, same thing. And pull this up. Okay. Wow, why is it holding so strong? Come on. There we go. Okay, then we're gonna unroute these cables here and go here. All right, and the white antenna was connected to the white arrow there, and the black one to where the black arrow is on that connector there. Okay, so we don't need to remove those, but we're just gonna move that. Okay, and then we have this other connector here, the other fan connector, same thing. If you can't reach in there, you can just use, again, like a tool like this and just go one side, the other side, one side, the other side. But wow, there's even less space here. So I'm going to use this little pointy pokey spot thing and then do this, okay? So we're just going from one side to the other, slowly pushing each side out, and you can see the connector walks itself out, all right? Or not itself, I had to walk it out, but you know what I mean. All right, so same idea with the RTC real-time clock battery connector there. And then I forgot to mention there's also the touchpad or trackpad connector there. All right, so, also there's one connector here hidden underneath this tape, and it says FP, so that's a fingerprint reader. Okay, so now that we got all of that out, let's go ahead and start removing the heatsink. So let's get the screws out that are holding the fans in first. So we got that one. And then we got this one down here. Okay. All right, then we got this guy up here. And this guy down here. All right, and now technically all the fan screws are out, but as you can see, it's still attached, so we are gonna have to undo these. Oh, I heard some tape release. Anyways, did they not even number these? Oh, they did, but it's super tiny. 3. Some have numbers and some don't. My guess is this is 1, 2, 3, 4. But yeah, but it's so, like, the print is so tiny that it's really hard to see. And then 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. But anyways, that's when we go to screw it back in. As long as you're going cross, I think it shouldn't really matter. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and remove all these screws. And these screws do come out all the way. So again, make sure you're careful and don't drop them on the motherboard. Even though we did the power drain, you don't want to risk it if you don't have to, so just be very careful. Okay, so we're going to get all these screws out. And the customer was asking about putting liquid metal on it, and then I guess they changed their mind, so we're actually using IC Diamond, and that's my preferred thermal paste that I've been using, though I've heard that they don't really change the reduction in temperature a huge amount, so yeah, use whatever you find. There are specific ones that are better. I mean, don't get like some junk, like cheap one. Make sure you get one from a reputable company, because sometimes they might just put some random stuff in there and it might not actually pull anything. But if you check reviews and get stuff like on Amazon, you should be okay. Anyways, we got all these screws. Let's see if we can lift this. Usually what happens is the paste gets stuck kind of. So what we kind of have to do is twist. So I'm going to try and grab here a little bit and here and kind of twist it a little. But it doesn't really seem to move at all. So we're probably going to have to get under like the solid corners of these pieces and just pull carefully straight up. Right, we're going to go under here. This one has these thermal pads that are holding it, but this isn't a solid place to pull, so don't pull from there. We're going to pull from this, okay, these corners. And wow, this thing is stuck down there super strong. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to be able to get this off. Okay, and you don't want to pull up on the heat pipes themselves because that can get damaged easily. And I don't know why, but the whole motherboard's already kind of lifting. I don't know if there's any hidden screws somewhere else that we need to remove, but we're gonna try and just lift it all from here. And as you can see, I'm slightly lifting here. You want to be careful not to put too much pressure on this. And we're gonna slowly, I'm pulling up and pushing down on the motherboard here. Okay, slowly working my way down over to the GPU. If you're wondering, this is the CPU. Okay, and then get over here and same, keep pulling, and there we go, it lifted. All right, so now we're gonna grab the whole thing out carefully, slowly. Did it completely lift? Is something caught? There we go, tilt it up and grab the edges, and there you go. Oh, yep, that looks like some liquid metal, and they put whatever this white pasty layer around to prevent it from getting into other things. Kind of crazy here. Okay, so we're gonna have to clean up all this stuff, and you have to be careful because liquid metal is corrosive, and if it gets onto like aluminum and stuff, it can basically cause that stuff to crumble. So this is a little risky. We're gonna get a paper towel and we're just gonna try and like wipe this stuff up. Try and keep it centered. You don't want it getting on everything. And you can see the liquid metal kind of moving around. Okay. All right. There you go. Clean that off. We'll get another one and we'll clean off this stuff. And actually, when it's like big and goopy like this, I like to use this kind of tool to scrape it up. Just like this. I don't know what the heatsink is made of that they put the liquid paste on, but it looks like it's aluminum. It's a silver color. I don't know what other materials they like to use for heatsink. It's usually like copper and aluminum. So I'm not too sure what they decided on, because if that's the case, that's liquid metal is not good for that. All right, so we got this. We're gonna now get some isopropyl alcohol and then clean that up. I don't know what I did with my giant isopropyl alcohol bottle. I think I was using it to clean something, I don't know. Anyways, we have this one, so I'm gonna use that and pour some onto this area. Okay, let it kind of work its magic. All right, and then we can try and wipe this stuff off. Though I don't think isopropyl alcohol dissolves liquid metal, so I mean, it looks like it's cleaning it really well, so That's good. Just like that. Gonna get more paper towel. And you can see the corrosion that happened here. Like, that stuff is not gonna clean because it's actually ate the metal. Okay. Alright, so there we go. Then we're gonna clean that side. I'm gonna use a clean side of the paper towel because I don't want to get the liquid metal on it. And let's wipe that off. Alright, look how clean that one cleaned, and look how this one has like that splotch of stuff that's never going to come out. Alright, next thing, we're going to set this aside, and let's go ahead and grab the heatsink, and we can actually scrape out that rubbery thing because we're not using that, or you can just leave it, but let's scrape off the old paste here. The GPU side, just like this. Look at that. It's kind of stuck on there, so that's not good. That means the computer was getting really hot. Okay. Right. Then, and in this case, because you put that plastic, we have to be extra careful. Put some more isopropyl alcohol there. Okay, and let's actually clean off this liquid metal stuff here. You can see they flooded the liquid metal into there. Not very good. Okay. Put some isopropyl alcohol in there, fill up that stuff. Okay, let's clean off this side. After letting it soak, it cleans off really well. There's the little edges inside here that we can't really get, but not really much we can do about that. Can use like a toothbrush to help clean it a little, but yeah. Alright, let's try. Not too important that you get all the edges clean, but if you want, let me. Okay. Okay. All right, let's try and clean off that liquid metal now. And some is down in that gap, so I don't know. Okay, we got most of it. There's still some in there. Let's get another paper towel and let's continue cleaning. All right, some more isopropyl alcohol in that ring, and then we're gonna clean that up. I think this white thing is silicone. Interesting that they put that there to protect the components from the liquid metal. But yeah, liquid metal is kind of difficult to clean off. I think it's like gallium, because the gallium eats aluminum and other metals, so, or causes it to break down. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't really like the idea of people putting that stuff on. Okay. Okay. I feel it's a bad idea. I was going to add it for the customer. I guess they did some more research and then they decided to put normal thermal paste, so that's what we're doing. Okay, clean that up best you can. That's probably as good as we're gonna get it. I'm gonna use another paper towel because there's dust here and I want to clean it off, but I don't want to risk the stuff getting on it. Okay, So there we go. We got that all cleaned up the best we can. You can see where it was eating through that. All right, anyways, let's take a look at this again. And can we get the fans off here? No, the fans are held in with these melted plastics. So I'm looking through the thing here, and usually if you can see, like if you shine a light through here and you can see the light through, or you just hold it like so light shines through here, if you can see the light through clearly, then it's clean enough inside and you don't have it blocked by what do you call, by a giant ball of dust. So I think this looks okay. Yep. All right, so that looks good. Let's go ahead and reapply the thermal paste and get this thing back together, and we should be good to go. So I'm going to zoom in here so you can see it better. I'm going to clean it one more time because I did like scrape out some stuff in this one and then kind of move it around. So let me clean that one more time. This. Okay, that. Poor Venus. Oriole keeps wanting to play, and she just wants nothing to do with it. Oh, that's dangerous. Look at that. Some liquid metal is coming out there. Yeah, I don't like this stuff at all. That's so... Whoever's idea it was to put liquid metal rolling around in your computer, bad idea. Shame on you. Okay. Anyways, that's that. Let's go ahead now and get the thermal paste on there. Oreo, leave her alone. Stop it. Okay, now we got this. Let's go ahead and add the icy diamond. So to do this, you kind of want to put like a grain of rice looking thing, and it will actually spread super thin on its own. So you just want to get it into like a grain of rice line here. And when you push the thing on top, it will spread that super thin and get it all into the right place. Okay, you can put a bit more here, but you don't need a crazy amount. Okay, just like that. All right, and then the CPU is a square, so we're just going to put a circle in the middle, and it's not a big one, so you don't need a crazy amount, but just like this. All right, and let's take a look here. So there you can see we got that dot in the middle, and then we got this like blob line there. And when you put the heatsink cooler on top, it will completely smush it down, and you don't have to worry about scraping it around like liquid metal and other stuff. All right. So get this here lined up. Also, this stuff isn't like electrically conductive or anything. So if you mess up, you put too much or whatever, you don't have to worry about it destroying your computer. Okay, so we're going to get this back lined up. Make sure you have it the right way. GPU on this side and then CPU on the other side. And we're basically just going to drop it down into place here slowly. Make sure the wires are out of the way. And there. Okay, so we got that dropped back down. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and put the screws in. So let me see if I can see this. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Okay, so screw number 1, and I'm not going to tighten them down all the way. We click it, 1, 2, 3. Okay, second screw, same thing. Click it, 1, 2, 3. All right, third screw. All right, click it, 1, 2, 3. Fourth screw. Click it, 1, 2, 3. All right, and then we got 5, 6. Okay, fifth screw here. Click it, 1, 2, 3. Sixth screw here. Click it, 1, 2, 3. Seventh screw. click it, 1, 2, 3, and 8th screw here, click it, 1, 2, 3. Then we'll go back over to here, and we're gonna go ahead and go here again, 1, 2, 3, back here, 1, 2, 3, here, 1, 2, 3, here, 1, 2, 3, and here, 1, 2, 3, here, 1, 2, 3, here, 1, 2, 3, here, 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to tighten it all the way. 3, 4. Okay, it's like 4 or 5 more. This one. Okay. This one. This one. Okay. Go back to here. Go back to here. Back to here. And the last one here. All right, so those screws should all be good, and pushing the JB weld, I'm sorry, not JB, I'm so used to that, the IC diamond into place. All right, so now let's go ahead and just get these cables back in. So get that going back down there, and then make sure this tucks underneath. Well, let's tuck in the fan connector first. Obviously, you just line it up and push it in. If you replace the fans for some reason, you can see the dot here. And also the exposed metal pins are facing down, so we're gonna get this lined up, and then we're gonna pinch that back in. If you're replacing the fans, I'm not sure if they sell just the fans. If they do, you'd have to cut these little plastic pieces off to get out the fan. I do have videos showing how to do that on repairing other laptop fans. So anyways, line that up and click that down. But yeah, if you do want to see how to do that, I do have videos showing how to repair fans. Okay. Now we got this. Make that go in through that hole there. Line that down. Push the tape down. And same thing with this fan connector. Get that lined up and click that in. Okay. Just like this. Alright. It's in place. Then we have all these Wi-Fi antennas. So make sure to plug these back in. Again, white one to the white arrow. You gotta line this up. Let me zoom in here for you guys. Okay, so you gotta make sure to line this up well. Line that up. Make sure it lines up. You can see if I wiggle it, it stays in place, and then click that down. Right, then we got the black one here. Same thing. Line this up, and then it latches on, and then click that down. There we go. You can turn that sideways. Now let's go ahead and get the SSD to put back here. So SSD goes in at an angle like this. Push that in, right? And then we plop this down, and the thermal pad will likely hold it down for you. We'll get the one screw and put that back in. All right. Make sure that's all the way down, and then push that over. All right, let's zoom out here. We had two fan screws on each side. So let's go ahead and put those back. So we got the one from up here, the one from down here, got the two over here. Okay. And this one down here. There we go. So we got those 4 screws in. Let's zoom out here. And now we got to get the battery in. Okay. So the battery, just get it over here, line it up, drop it down into place. All right. We're going to put the screws back in first, just so it doesn't move around. That one, this one, this one. Oreo, stop. This one. Oreo, don't do it. All right, so we got those 4 screws in. Now we just got to get the battery connector in, so just line it back up and click it down, obviously. once you click it down, you can slide that little metal latch back on top, and it should hold down just like that. Okay, so there we go. I guess we can, oh, don't forget the stick of RAM. Get that back in. Goes in at an angle. Okay, I like to kind of wiggle it as I kind of pinch it to pull it in, and then click that down. There we go, and we should be good. Oh, what, did I get some thermal paste on here somehow? Let's clean that up. Okay, clean that off, clean that off. Okay, I'm not sure where that paste came from, but all right. And hopefully there's no liquid metal that's in here in some components. Okay, looks good. All right, so next we're gonna just make sure it turns on. And I see the keyboard lit up, flashed, and the power light is on, and we should be good. All right, so now all we got left to do is put the bottom cover back on, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, please make sure to like, comment, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. Subscribe, and if it helps you save a bunch of money, again, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. If you can help out that way, again, it helps a lot if you can watch more of my videos and then like and comment on them as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. Anyways, we're just going to get all these screws back in, but that's pretty much all there is to it. But yeah, you're welcome to stay as I get all these back in, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right, let's get all these screws back in, and then I don't have their password, I don't think, so I can't really stress test it, but fans were definitely clogged with dust. Excuse me. And we did a good paste job on it, so it should be running a lot cooler than before. All right. We'll see what the customer says, but when they get to use it for their usual use, I don't know if they were monitoring temperatures, but it should be cooler than before. Okay. Oreo, stop that. Get these last screws in, and then I need to stop Oreo. I think he's eating poop from the kitty litter. Okay. Last few screws, and we should be good to go. Alright, and that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Let's drop this. Bye.